Welcome to the Dice Cup. I'm Steve and today I'm going to show you how to play Machi Koro, a game that plays between 2 to 4 players and takes about half an hour. Machi Koro has recently been nominated for the Spiele des Jahres, the Game of the Year award in Germany. It's been going since 1979. It is one of the three in the basic award, the most popular award, the most well-known one, and in my opinion it's probably going to be the one that wins, but I usually get that wrong. In Machi Koro, you've been hired by the mayor to try and build the best town you can build. In your particular town, you're going to start with a wheat field and a bakery. And at the moment, I've set this up for 2 players. So you've got a wheat field and a bakery, wheat field and a bakery. The game is won when you are able to buy these buildings here. So these buildings at the moment have remained unbuilt. I've got a train station, a shopping mall, an amusement park and a radio tower. At some point in the game I'm going to be trying to build them one at a time when I get the money to do it. It's going to cost me 4, 10, 16 and 22 coins, and each time I build one of these it's going to give me an ability. In Machi Koro, each player is going to start with 3 coins. So this player's got 3 coins, this player's got 3 coins, and on your turn you're initially going to roll 1 die only. And later in the game you have the opportunity to roll 2, but let's say this person's going first, he's only got the opportunity to roll 1, he would roll that dice. And what would happen is, the number that you roll on the dice will activate some of the cards with that number on during the game. You start with a wheat field which has a number 1 on it, and a bakery which has a number 2 to 3 on it. So the number 5 does nothing at this point. Your opponent also checks their numbers because sometimes you can activate their cards, and again because they start with what you start with, it does nothing. The next thing you might do after you've rolled the dice is buy another building or buy one of your improvements. So at the moment I start with 3 coins, the smallest improvement is the train station which costs me 4. I might decide to buy one of the cards in the middle here. I could even buy another wheat field for 1 coin and I would stack it on my current wheat field. So let's say I do that, I pay 1 coin to buy that. The next player would roll their dice too and do exactly the same thing. They would activate any cards that they've rolled, and then they have the opportunity, if they want to purchase 1 card from the centre here. The cards are coloured in 4 different ways. The blue cards will activate whoever rolls the dice. So if someone rolled a 1, anyone with a wheat field would activate their wheat field. Because it's a blue card, it doesn't matter who rolls the dice. The wheat field says get 1 coin from the bank on anyone's turn. That means when anyone rolls a 1, every wheat field will get you 1 coin. I have 2 wheat fields, so from the bank if someone rolled a 1, I would get 2 coins to add to my current 2 coins. I'd be on 4 coins now if my opponent or myself rolled a 1. Green cards activate only when you roll them. So you start with a bakery. If you rolled a 2 or a 3, the bakery would activate, but your opponent's bakery would not. A green card will activate only when you roll it, and there are different numbers of green cards in play, so you can get a green card with a 4 or a 7 or an 8 on it later in the game. A red card would do the opposite. If you managed to buy a red card will not activate when you rolled it, it would activate when your opponent rolled it. So if your opponent rolled a 3, he would activate your cafe, and if you have a cafe you get 1 coin from anyone who rolls a 3. My opponent rolled a 3, I would get 1 coin off him. So red cards are those cards that people hate you to get because inevitably, especially when I play, I often roll 3s and 9s and 10s. As later in the game you can get things like a family restaurant. The 4th type of card are the purple cards, and the purple cards are quite nasty. So you're only allowed 1 of each of these. You're allowed to stock up with as many of the other cards as you want, so you could start to stock up on cafes, which means if someone rolls a 3 you would get 1, 2, 3 coins off them. But the purple cards, you're only allowed 1 of each of them. If you roll a 6, you get to activate the purple card. And this particular one says take 5 coins from any one player on your turn only. So if I managed to roll a 6, I could activate the TV station and pick one of my opponents to take 5 coins from, or as many as 5 coins as I can get. If they only have 4, you only take 4. The stadium gets 2 coins from all players on your turn only. So if you're playing with more than 2 players, if you're playing with 3 or 4 players, that would possibly be a better way to do, because if I rolled a 6 now, I could get 2 coins from each other person playing. And lastly, the business centre is the nastiest one. I can trade 1 non-purple card with any other player. So I could just say I want to trade a wheat field for something else that they have that's slightly better than wheat field, which is quite a nasty card, but it does cost you 8 to buy and you have to roll a 6. So we'll just go through some of the cards you get in Machi Koro. These are the cards that are available for everyone to buy, and then I'll go through the ones you have to build that get you the special abilities. The blue cards, you've got Wheatfield Ranch, which gives you a coin each, a Forest, which gives you a coin, a Mine gives you 5 coins, and an Apple Orchard gives you 3 coins. The purple buildings we've done. The cafe and the family restaurant are the ones where if someone else rolls it, you get to take coins off them. Cafe will allow you to take 1 coin. A family restaurant will allow you to take 2. The green ones, the convenience store and the bakery, get you coins if you roll those numbers. And the other 3 green ones stack effectively. So if you can see the Cheesecake Factory, it will give you 3 coins for every cow symbol you have. So the cow symbols come from, well, the ranch gives you a cow symbol, and that's it. So for every ranch you get, the Cheesecake Factory will give you 3 coins per ranch. The same works with the Furniture Factory and the Fruit and Vegetable Market. The Furniture Factory multiplies the cogs you get, which you can get from the mine or the forest, and the Fruit and Vegetable Market multiplies the grain symbol you get, which you get from the Apple Orchard and the wheat field. So thematically, that kind of makes sense. These are the buildings you can buy, and you notice that some of the buildings have 7 or higher as the number that activates them. And I did say there isn't a possibility during the game you can roll 2 dice. Well, you can't until you build one of the special buildings. Let's have a look. So there are 4 special buildings you've got in Machi Koro, and if you manage to build all 4, as soon as the 4th one's completed, you win the game. You don't have to build them in order, so sometimes you might want this ability before this one, or so on, but the abilities come in this way. If you build the train station, you may choose to either roll 1 or 2 dice, and to show it's built, you turn it round to its built side. So this is where you have the opportunity, if that's built, to start rolling 2. However, it's a may, so you don't have to, but you do now have the opportunity, so you can get some of those better powered buildings. The shopping mall doubles the effectiveness of all your teacup symbols and all your chef hats. So every building, for example the bakery, has a chef's hat on it. So the bakery, every time you roll a 2 or 3, will not get you 1 coin. This card will mean it gets you 2. The amusement park allows you, if you roll a double, to take another turn after this one. So if you start your view there, and this is an incentive to maybe roll 2 dice, if you roll a double 1 for example, that means you can do that action, you can buy a card, and then you get another go. And again, I think if you roll a double again, you can keep taking extra goes. So that's a way, if you are behind, to get a bit lucky and try and catch up. The radio tower is probably the best one. It says once every turn you can choose to re-roll your dice. So if I roll my dice and I'm not happy with the result 11, I can choose to re-roll them. If I choose to re-roll them, I can then choose to roll 1 or 2 again, but I must take the second roll. Oh, hang on, I've rolled a double, so if I also have this one, again, you can see that these abilities start to stack. That's how you play Machi Koro, one of the nominees for Game of the Year in Germany. And as you can see, it's an engine building game with a bit or a lot of luck, depending on whether you like or dislike dice games or not. The game speeds up, so initially it's a bit of a slow process because you haven't got much money, and whenever you roll a dice, you're only picking up 1 coin or 2 coins at a time. But as you start to get a better engine, you can see, for example, now a 1 will get me 5 coins, a 2 or a 3 will get me, if I've got this will get me 6 coins, and so on and so on. There can be advantages to getting certain master buildings depending on how many players are in play. If there are 4 players in play, things like the stadium become quite powerful, where you can take 2 coins off every person, and some of the other ones become less powerful because by the time it gets back round to you, you only have 1 shot at rolling those numbers you need. And on other people's go, maybe the blue cards are more powerful with more players. Again, it is a game that some people like and some people won't like. In terms of strategic planning, there isn't much there, but it is, the Game of the Year is usually quite a light game, and more importantly, it's a game that everyone can understand, and everyone can, once you've been told what to do, you just sit there rolling dice, and you can do whatever you want, whether or not that turns out to be a winning strategy or not. I've been Steve from the Dice Cup. Thank you very much.